Day 202, hot topic, hot button, hot issue number 6, fire. I guess you can't really talk about water, which was topic number 5, without talking about fire. So, as you probably know, San Francisco had a defining earthquake and fires, 4 days of fires, 1906, that destroyed 80% of the city, something like over 500 city blocks. And that's actually very common for many major cities. Look up major cities that had these big fires. It's not that uncommon. But going back before 1906, so I think I just mentioned one of the reasons why the fires were so bad is because San Francisco was one of the first cities that had open gas lines. But you also have this contained city surrounded by water on 3 sides. So on the one hand, it sounds like that's a reason why you should be more fire resistant, because you have what it takes to put out the fire, surrounded by what it takes to put out the fire. But on the other hand, it actually forms as some kind of a barrier. So you're somewhat trapped in a sense, if you get what I'm putting down. So if fires happen in certain parts of the city, that's actually incredibly dangerous, more so than if you were in places that were landlocked where you could, get away in other places. Anyway, so redwood trees. What does redwood trees have to do with what I'm talking about here? Lots of San Francisco, especially after the 1906 earthquake and fires, is built with redwood trees, with wood from redwoods. Also lots of concrete. Why? Because redwood is more fire resistant. So people are shocked to find out, because San Francisco is close to some of the largest and oldest redwood forests in the entire world. I didn't realize that like here and China are like the only 2 places literally in the whole world that has the right climate for redwood trees. So even though we're surrounded by them north and south, San Francisco itself redwoods are not native to here. That does not mean you find redwoods here. You do find redwoods here. The thing is, they're intentionally planted for a couple different reasons. There's Transamerica Redwood Park, there's the Tenderloin National Forest, right? But also, you will randomly see redwoods planted in cul-de-sacs in like wealthy neighborhoods. And like I have a very specific along my route on Billionaires Row. What I'm getting at is that redwoods are a natural fire barrier. Because they are more fire resistant, you'll also see them planted in the Presidio in like random places. So yeah, I thought that was very fascinating that actually redwoods are not native to the actual San Francisco Peninsula, but they do act as a natural fire barrier. Last thing that I'll mention, it could have equally been mentioned in the video that I made about water, is that prior to 1906, San Francisco, like literally between like something like 1850 and 1860, like some 10-year gap like that, San Francisco had something like 6 major fires. Like fires used to be a thing here. So what happened is that San Francisco created these huge underground networks where they essentially store water, because even though we're surrounded by water on 3 sides, there was no mechanism back in the day, and my understanding is that it's still not necessarily easy to just pull water out of the ocean. So we store water underneath, and I know that we're one of the only cities in the United States that does that, which, yeah, pretty crazy. It's all pretty crazy, but that's San Francisco for you. So hot topic, hot issue, hot button number 6.